Hey everyone, Scott Cunningham, aka Scott's Business. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 altcoins that I am bullish on for 2020. So just before we get into this is not financial advice. And if you don't know what altcoins are, really it's just any coin that isn't Bitcoin. So we're talking about alternative coins to Bitcoin. And the top 5 that I am personally bullish on, and what I've invested the most into for 2020 leading up to the Bitcoin halving, is LBC from Library Platform, OneUp from Uptrend, BAT, Basic Attention Token from the Brave browser. We have ETH, which supports a lot of these, and then Tron. Previously, I wouldn't have included Tron, but they just acquired Steemit, which is the largest dApp on the Steam ecosystem, and they want to try to get more users on Steam to come onto Tron. And they also acquired DLive. With the amount of buying power and the amount of resources that they have, regardless of their intentions or motivations, they're buying up so much of the blockchain social space that it's pretty hard to get around it. Tron is either going to be, a massive success, or they're going to botch all these projects. And it's hard for them to make them worse. DLive was already really, really bad. So my hope is that they can really only make it better at this point, or leave it as it is, which is pretty bad. Steemit doesn't need nearly as much fixing, but I'm curious to see the kinds of things that they implement. DLive is coming, like the full migration is happening in April. We don't know the exact details for Steem yet, Steemit. And one thing to always, keep in mind is that Steem isn't Steemit. Steemit is just one of the dApps on Steam. However, they did hold the majority of Steem tokens. So what this means now is Tron actually has more leverage potentially than the Steem community itself. So yeah, more than likely Tron is going to be taking over here. And I'm going to link all the stuff, like the original announcement, the AMA that they did today, actually, which is the 15th. They did it only like 5 hours ago. I watched the majority of it. Essentially, you don't need to sell off your Steem right away, because they might actually, they are doing a Steem token swap. And what they did for DLive, like the Lino points to BTT, is they actually gave a 3% premium. Thing is, the price for that was set. The price for Steem is changing all the time. So we don't know exactly how that's going to work, or if Steem goes down and then, yeah, you get the premium, but if you'd sold now, you would have made more money. So there's a lot of speculation there around the actual price for Steem, but you're safe probably just investing in Tron. They're taking up so many of the new projects, and they're just buying it all up and acquiring it. I think with all the things they're launching this year, at the very least, you should see a decent gain in Tron on top of what's already going to happen with the Bitcoin halving. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, and this is what I am investing in myself. Next, we have OneUp. So that's Uptrend, right? And Uptrend is a content platform. It's been around for just a little under a year, but they've been growing at an extremely, extremely fast rate. So fast that I would say that the coin has not really caught up to how well it's actually growing, and in terms of like the value of the coin. And what I mean is, if you can see, how exponentially they've grown since around August, naturally the coin is starting to reflect that price. So given Bitcoin halving and everything else that's going on, I think the coin is also going to go way, way up this year. They also do a lot of burning of their coins. So when you're holding it, it helps make it a lot more valuable than if you wait till later to buy in. So, that's something to consider. And the price right now, let's just quickly bring that up. The price right now for OneUp is a little over half a cent. So it's pretty inexpensive. And as you can see, lately the market cap has been pretty ridiculous. It went from around a little over 100,000 in volume to recently trading up to 500,000, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, the price has been going up pretty steadily. And again, it's very reflective of the amount of users coming in and using the platform. So I think, considering that's probably going to continue growing, this will naturally continue to reflect that. So getting in earlier is going to help you earn more, and then you'll have a lot more when you decide to potentially sell when it is worth a lot more. So, or just investing, obviously. It's great to get in now before it's extremely way up and you kind of missed your potential hit. And I mean, again, I do want to also explain that the Bitcoin halving is really the motivation for the majority of this. The Bitcoin halving is going to happen by estimate the 12th of May this year, in 86 days. And I've linked this as well, so you can come and see this actual countdown. If you're not totally familiar with what the Bitcoin halving is, essentially the coin rewards for miners is going to be halved from 12.5 to 6.25. And that happens once a specific amount has been mined. It's every 210,000 blocks. So this is hard coded in. It's not my opinion that this is going to happen. This is absolutely going to happen. Whether or not it's exactly at this time, this is just a projection based on the current mining rate. But this will absolutely happen. And without a doubt in my mind, this is going to affect all the prices on the entire market, because Bitcoin has a large market dominance and is a base trading pair. While this is a much less drastic change from the previous one, this also makes Bitcoin more valuable because the inflation rate will be half as much as well, meaning that naturally with a lower inflation rate, it should be worth significantly more, as you can see here. And then after that, it'll have the lowest inflation rate, as basically one of the lowest inflation rates for any currency in existence after the next halving. Because I'm pretty sure Japan has a ridiculously low one right now, might even be 0.5%, but I'd have to double check that. You can fact check me if you like. Talking about Ethereum though, Ethereum is ridiculous in terms of all of the projects that are being built on there, and they're not having the issues that EOS is having, but they are having way more development. A lot of people say EOS might be the enterprise chain. No, it's going to be Ethereum. Here is an amazing list of some of the top companies in the world that are building currently on Ethereum. So Nike, Morningstar, BitPay, you've got different banks, Barclays, UBS, TD, Cisco, Walmart, the United Nations, FedEx, JP Morgan Chase, Microsoft, Intel, Ubisoft, Amazon, American Express, Uber, all these huge companies, Alibaba Group, Morgan Stanley, Nestle, McDonald's, just Goldman Sachs, just so many top 500 companies are building on Ethereum and not EOS. That and all the other amazing platforms that rely on Ethereum, like Minds and Uptrend that we just looked at, and we're going to look at Brave. There's so many projects that rely on Ethereum and use Ethereum, that Ethereum is just by far ahead of so many other chains in terms of what they're actually providing for their users. While a chain like Tron might have more dApps, the majority of them currently are just gambling and gaming, which in my mind is very similar or the same as gambling anyway. But now they're acquiring all these different social dApps that are some of the biggest and most widely used. So naturally, again, that's why we're investing in Tron this year. Library is a very popular decentralized alternative to YouTube, and a lot of people are starting to use this now. The first thing I'm showing you here is you can go and claim your YouTube channel and sync all of your videos automatically and moving forward if you don't even want to deal with this at all. And just for syncing, based on the amount of subscribers you have, they're going to give you monthly payments. So if you actually had 1 million followers or subscribers on YouTube, you'd be getting about $1,500 a year just for existing on this platform. You wouldn't even have to touch it, and you get $1,500 a year for basically nothing. And on top of that, you get money for all of your views, different tiers of followers. If you watch a video every day, you earn a little bit. So there's so many ways to earn LBC, and the token has been doing really, really well and going up a lot lately. It was below 1 cent before the crypto purge, and then it went all the way up to 4 cents, and now it's back to about 2.5. So it's still doing really, really well. And just in February alone, they've gained over 100,000 new users, which is insane. So I can only expect that library is going to continue to just keep growing really well, and definitely has a lot of investing opportunity right now. And as well as just joining the platform and earning a bunch of free LBC yourself, I've managed to earn about 15,000 so far, and really, really, really cool. Highly recommend checking it out, you guys. So yeah, it's actually just under 2 cents right now, but they're still doing really, really well. And again, if you're looking at different platforms and things to invest in, this is a great one. The reason that I prefer to invest in like platforms is I can actually navigate the whole thing, see how well it's growing, see how well it's doing, versus like a company. I don't really know exactly what they're doing on the back end. I don't know, it also depends how much they communicate with their audience and their investors and everything. But with actual platforms, it's much easier to get a grasp on how people use it and how they enjoy it and what they think of it on the actual platform, versus trying to look into financial reports or things that the company is doing on the other side of things. But that's just me, right? That's the kind of stuff that I invest in. I still think this is a really good investment. It's gone up a lot over the past year. Now, BAT is probably one of my favorite projects. I'm actually using the Brave browser right here, and you earn money as you browse for the ads that you allow. So I've got about $3.28 worth of BAT pending that will pay out on March 5th because I've allowed ads to show up occasionally, and they just pop up in the corner here, and they're very unintrusive, and by default it'll automatically block all of your like video ads and things like that. So any kind of ad that's really annoying, they'll get rid of, and they'll just give you a tiny little simple ad. And you can say no ads, but I like all the ads so that I can earn cryptocurrency, and I barely even notice it, so it's basically free money. And you can also sync it with your phone and do the same thing and then get even more. These are the amount of people that have actually signed up on the Brave Creator Program, meaning that they have YouTube channels and different things like that, and they want to still get rewards. But most people are blocking ads these days, so signing up with Brave also helps you get around that. So they have a lot of like really great programs that they've set up, and so many people are using the Brave browser. I mean, just in terms of creators who have signed up for the Creator Program, you've got over 415,000 people. That's a really, really big amount just for the creators, not even the users. And you can see a lot of these are actually really, really big channels with millions and millions and millions of followers, or subscribers rather. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out. There's a few different sites like this that you can see all the different things that they're doing. And I've linked this, and I'll try to see if there's any others. I think I got a few links from Samson from Brave recently that I could also share in this as well in the description. So I'll definitely throw those in. And then that pretty much covers it, right? We've looked at BAT, we've looked at LBC, we've looked at Ethereum, we've looked at OneUp, and we covered Tron originally. So I think that gives a decent idea of why I like these coins and why I think these are going to do really well in 2020. There's so many coins that are going to do well in 2020. Again, you got to remember that Bitcoin halving is going to raise all tides for all ships. So everything is more than likely going to go up. But the things that here's the thing, right? If something bad happens and, it doesn't work out the way that we like, these coins have so many things good going for them that I'm not too worried about relying on the Bitcoin halving. And even if I am relying on the Bitcoin halving, I think these will go up more than most other coins, because I don't see the same, like the same amount of people using these, the same amount of development, the same amount of people joining every week or every month on the majority of the factors that I can look at and that I value and appreciate myself. These are the top 5 that I can think of in terms of altcoins. So obviously I am invested in Bitcoin as well, and then I'm invested in these. I'm invested about 30 or 40 coins. If there was enough interest or people asking for it, I could do a full deep dive into my entire portfolio. But I never really meant to make this channel a lot about investing. This is mainly about looking at different platforms and services and different applications on blockchain, learning about blockchain technologies. But at the same time, a lot of the things I just talked about are interesting platforms that you can check out that are related to the things I look at. So I am in these ecosystems pretty regularly. I explore them, review these platforms a lot, and that's why I'm invested in these. And I am I'm more than happy to be supporting the platforms that I'm using versus, trying to invest in some, coin that has a lot of hype, like Bitcoin SV or whatever it might be, and trying to get in on some hype thing. Because again, I'm not really an investor. I'm more of just someone who explores the technology and shares my findings with you guys. But regardless, every now and then I will dabble a little bit into this. But again, this is not financial advice. Anyways, if you did watch to the very end, I really appreciate it. Make sure to comment #1ham so I know you did. Thank you so much for watching. You're amazing, and have an amazing day. Don't forget to let me know what you think about these coins, and if you think any other coins are better and why. Make sure to comment that in the comments below. Thank you so much. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scotty Business, signing off. Cheers.